The Matrix Mission. The story so far, the Matrix is a vital part of the time web, an ancient computer that can detect where viruses are attacking the past. While Biff and Chip wait anxiously in the time vault, Nina faces extreme danger. Can she bring the Matrix safely back to Mortlock, the Time Guardian? Or will the virus get to it first? Chapter 1. Nina felt as if she was sliding down an invisible tube. Colors flashed before her eyes. Noise came and went, then silence. She had no idea where she was. She had arrived somewhere back in time, and she knew she was alone. Joan's eyes trained in the candlelight. He pulled the old book he was copying closer to the flame. He had to make an accurate copy for the Archbishop. His inky fingers brushed the page. "Careful," he muttered. To make a blot would mean starting the page again. That would take hours. The Archbishop would only pay him for a perfect copy, no matter how long it took. Suddenly, the shaft of bright light broke through the gloom. Joan narrowed his eyes. A figure had stepped into the room. "Who are you?" gasped Joan. "I'm Nina. Mortlock sent me," said Nina. The name Mortlock made Joan jump. He knocked over his bottle of ink. He had not heard that name for a long time, but he knew what it meant. "You must be from the future," he said. "You look different from us." The black ink spread like a dark shadow over the page of careful work. Joan's heart beat faster. "Then you have come for the Matrix," he muttered. "I never thought the time would come." He rose quickly to his feet. "Come with me. We've no time to lose." Chapter 2. Nina followed Joan out of the chapel building at the side of the Archbishop's palace. She ran after him through rows of grapevines to a dusty barn. Joan pulled open the heavy wooden door of the barn and beckoned her inside. At the end of the barn were rows of barrels. Nina could see a girl about her own age scrubbing a large wooden machine. "This is my sister," said Joan. "She's cleaning the wine press in a time for a great harvest." "Elsa, this is Nina," said Joan. "She has come for the Matrix." "But we haven't got it," gasped Elsa. "We left it hidden in our father's workshop in the city." Nina held up her hands. "Please, slow down," she said. "First, tell me where I am." "At the Archbishop's country palace near the city of Mainz." "It's 1411, said Joan. "But the city gates are locked," said Elsa. "No one is allowed to go in or out." Nina was puzzled. "Why?" she asked. "A few days ago, strangers came to the city," said Elsa. "They said they had orders to shut it down. They told people to leave." "Most people couldn't afford to leave," said Joan. "Those who could leave did." "What did the strangers tell everyone?" asked Nina. Joan looked worried. "They said a plaque called the Black Death was on the way, and would soon be in the mains. All the gates were locked. Every bridge was guarded," went on Elsa. "Everyone who left was stopped and searched." "Ugh!" shuddered Joan. "The man who searched us was weird. He made me feel cold even thought it was a hot day." Nina's eye widened. Virens! She exclaimed. What if those men are Virens? What if there is no plague? Could they be spreading panic so they can search the city for the Matrix? If they are looking for the Matrix, they could be at Father's workshop right now, said John anciently. Then we must get to it before they do, said Nina. How we can get into the city? It's impossible, replied John. It may not be, said Elsa. I have an idea. Chapter 3. It was late in the afternoon before John put down his pen and folded the letter. Nina carefully dripped red sealing wax onto the paper. Elsa and molded the Archbishop's shield in a lump of clay. As the wax set, she pushed a shield into it. A letter from the Archbishop giving us permission to go into the city, she said. John studied the letter. It's a bit of a rush job, he said, but it'll do. Rushed? Laughed Nina. It took ages. Where I come from, printing a letter takes seconds. What? Asked John, puzzled. Oh, it doesn't matter, smiled Nina. With the letter finished, the children set off. Elsa had given Nina some clothes to wear. You need to look like a servant, she told Nina. Nina felt hot in a heavy skirt and cloak as they hurried down to the valley. Soon they reached into the river. On the other side was the city. Beyond its walls were rooftops and church spires. It all looked so peaceful. The river glistened and the sun like liquid gold. The main bridge to the city was guarded by two dark figures. They were searching a cart and questioning the driver. Chapter 4. Some way upstream from the bridge was a paper mill. The mill was desert, but the huge water wheel still turned slowly. Elsa gripped John's arm. I'll wait here at the mill, she said. If you are not back by nightfall, I get help. Good luck. John and Nina were soon at the bridge. The figure moved out in front of them. Nina shuddered. He felt a strange coldness as the man approached. What is your business? The man asked. John handed him the letter. We come on the orders of the Archbishop. The Archbishop? The man looked at them suspiciously. What does he want? Nina gulped. He wishes us to fetch an important book from the catalog. At your own risk, the man muttered. There's a plague in the city. John and Nina hurried on, but then they heard a shout. Nina glanced back to see a second man waving the letter. The two men began to charge after them. Come back, one yelled. They've seen through us. Run, Nina, gasped John. They ran down narrow seats and started through passageways. At last John stopped. I think we lost them, he panted. He opened the door leading into a courtyard, crossed the yard and climbed onto a high wall. Nina flung up her cloak and leaped up. Joan caught her wrist and hauled her up. Then they dropped to the other side. Chapter 5. They had reached the workshop. In front of them was a heavy door with two locks. John took two huge keys from his belt and locked the door. My father makes coins here, said John as he pushed the heavy door open. In the workshop, tools hung on every wall. To one side was a large brick furnace. On a beach was a tray of metal blocks. It looked rather like a computer keyboard. Nina gasped. It looks very much like the drawing she had seen in the Matrix. She looked around anxiously. What if the Virons were to come now? Is this it? She asked. No, these are punches that make coins, said John. He picked one out. You hit this onto the metal disc and stamp an imprint. He began to dig in a bunker of charcoal. Reaching to the bottom with his hands. What are you doing? Asked Nina. You'll get filthy. Exactly, he said. He pulled out a metal tray. No one would think of looking for the Matrix in here. Even though it was black from the charcoal, the Matrix was so beautiful that they both fell silent. It looks similar to the tray of punches, except each block had a different symbol carved into it. Where did it come from? Asked Nina. The east, I think, said John. Suddenly, the light from the oil lamp grew dim. An icy coldness swept over them both. The dark figure of a Viron stood in the doorway. He was holding a cloak Nina had flung off before she climbed the wall. Without the Matrix, the Time Guardians would be lost, he hissed. Then he slowly held out his hand. Give! Chapter 6. John held the Matrix behind him. He and Nina backed away. The Virons moved towards them. Suddenly, John fell over a stool. He cried out in pain as he landed on the Matrix. Nina saw her chance. Take it, she shouted, holding out the tray of punches. The Viron turned towards her. Nina felt an icy chill of fear. But at that moment, Joan picked up an oil lamp and flung it at the Viron's feet. Once the burning oil ran across the floor in a low curtain of flame. The Viron let out a cry and sprang back. Run, Nina, shouted John. Run! Chapter 7. They raced through the city streets. When they got near the bridge, they could see Virons guarding it. They'll soon know they've been tricked, said John. We won't get out of the city. We'll have to cross the river another way, said Nina. They scrambled along the bank. Moored somewhere upstream was a small rowing boat. Almost at once, they found a strong current was taking them down towards the bridge. Any closer, and the Virons will see us, said Joan urgently. Aim for the paper mill, shouted Nina. More chance than skill. John steered the little boat across to the mill. He slammed the boat against the side of the wall. Climb onto the water wheel, he called. Step on to one of the paddles and hold on. As the water wheel turned, they were lifted up out of the river and onto a platform at the top. Elsa was waiting for them. You made it, she said. As she spoke, the doorway suddenly appeared. The mission was over. John and Elsa watched as Nina stepped through the doorway. Take care of the Matrix, said John. As he turned, Nina noticed that on the back of his shirt, the charcoal dusted had left a perfect print of the Matrix. You made the imprint when you fell it in the workshop, laughed Nina. A print, said John. There's an idea. But Nina had vanished.